for this material is flora and fauna in Indonesia. Our indicators learning from this material, students are able to understand and explain about the flora and fauna and also the example in Indonesia. I will tell you about our scientific word for today. The scientific word is renewable resource. Renewable resource. Renewable resource. Renewable resource. The meaning is sumber daya alam yang dapat diperbarui. Kaman maroh. Renewable resource. The meaning is sumber daya alam yang dapat diperbarui. Before we are going for the title of Flora and Fauna Indonesia, I want make conclusion about our last material. We have studied about natural resource. There are renewable resource, non-renewable resource, and always able resource. And you have known about climate in Indonesia. There are three: monsoon climate, tropical climate, and ocean climate. And now we are going for discuss about flora and fauna in Indonesia. Before we start, let's say basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Flora and fauna in Indonesia. Do you know what is the meaning of flora? Or what is the meaning of fauna? Do you often listen about that words? Flora, the meaning is plants or tumbuhan, and fauna, the meaning is animals or hewan. So, huna our material. At the beginning of its formation on Earth, there was only one very large land area called Pangaea. As a result of plate movement causing Pangaea to change and be divided into the continents that exist today. This even took a very long time. As a result of this, of course, it has an influence on the distribution of flora and fauna, no exception in Indonesia. Flora and fauna in Indonesia have similarities with other regions, Asia and Australia continents, because Indonesia was once united as one landmass with the surrounding area. Flora and fauna in Indonesia are divided into three subregions. A. Flora in Indonesia. 1. Flora in Western Indonesia region includes Sumatra Island, Kalimantan Island, and parts of Java Island. Its flora tropical rainforest, mangrove forest, endemic plants. It means the plants only in the area. The name is Rafflesia arnoldi in province Bengkulu. These flora generally have similarities with the type of flora in the Asian continent. 2. Flora in Central Java to Nusa Tenggara, dominated by the not-so-dense monsoon forests, savanna, and steppes. The savanna is a vast meadow with woody plants. Steppes are dry land covered with only shrubs. This is happen because the rainfall is less than the flora in the western part of Indonesia where the rainfall is high. The flora are types of palma, pine, bosses, and grass. 3. Flora in eastern Indonesia. In the dominance of tropical rainforests, orchids, eucalyptus, matoa, and sagu. The tropical rainforest in this part has similarities with flora in the Australian continent because it was once united. Next, we are going about fauna in Indonesia. Two scientists, namely Alfred Russel Wallace, British nationality, and Max Wilhelm Carl Weber, German nationality, divided the territory of Indonesia into three parts, namely the western part, the central or transitional part, and the eastern part, which is bounded by two imaginary lines to distinguish from the distribution of fauna in Indonesia. There are two lines, imaginary, are Wallace line and Weber line. The definition of Wallace line and Weber's line is Wallace line is imaginary line dividing Asiatic fauna from intermediate fauna, and Weber's line is imaginary line delimiting transitional fauna with Australic fauna. B. Fauna in Indonesia. 1. Asiatic fauna or Western fauna covers the islands of Sumatra, Java, and Kalimantan. Its fauna are elephants, tigers, bulls, orang-utans, rhinos with horns, peacocks, Bali starlings. 2. Australic Asiatic fauna, middle group or aquaculture fauna, covers the islands of Sulawesi, Nusa Tenggara, and Maluku or western part of Maluku. It is a transitional or mixed fauna between Asian fauna and Australian fauna. Its fauna are Komodo dragons, hawk deer, anoa, tarsiers, and maleo birds. 3. Australic fauna or Pattern Australia covers the regions of Papua and eastern Maluku. The fauna are cuscus, mengus, parrots, wallabies, and there are endemic fauna in Australic fauna are birds of paradise and cassowaries. طيب حبيبي وحبيبتي الصف السابع هل من مزيد من السؤال؟ Do you have any questions? If you have any question, you can ask to me directly. Shukran for your attention and see you in the next video with different material. Please keep healthy and always physical distancing each other. See you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.